is the whole idea. So good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the program, and also welcome Kim Baer. How are you, young lady?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. It's always fun, John. We have Kim come in because we learned something when it comes to the law. And,
I love that.
And this morning, what are we talking about?
This morning we're going to talk about divorces. So, which is, never a fun topic to talk about.
But it happens, and happens more often than you realize.
Exactly. And what I thought I'd talk about is some ways for people to save money. So if you are thinking about getting a divorce or you're getting ready to file, a lot of times people don't realize that a lot of the law firms out there offer flat fees. Now the flat fee only applies if the divorce is uncontested. And what that means is, for instance, Lou, if you and I were married and we're going to get a divorce, an uncontested divorce for us would mean that we're in agreement with regard to custody of the kids, we're in agreement with regard to what we're going to do about the house, we're in agreement with regard to how we're going to divide up retirement accounts and things like that. So if the two of us have really reached an agreement and we just need a lawyer to draft everything up
to get the paperwork
done, there are lawyers that offer those services. So and typically, like I said, it's a flat fee, so you know going in what it's going to cost. So, but one of the things that I wanted to highlight is not all flat fees are the same. So it's just
what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? So there are law firms that offer flat fees starting, I think the lowest I've ever seen was maybe $500. And so initially you might think, well, wow, that's great.
For $500, I can be out of this.
Exactly. But the $500 typically is not going to include the court costs, which are about $230, $235. So you got to add that on top. They typically are not going to include what's called a quitclaim deed. So what that is let's say you and I own a house and we agree that you want to keep the house and you're just going to pay me my share of the equity.
Got it.
So I have to give you a quitclaim deed after we're divorced to transfer ownership to you.
So all the ownership is in my court.
Exactly. And I've heard that there are some law firms out there that will charge as much as $400, $500 to do a quitclaim deed, which to me is a lot, but it depends, I suppose, on the situation. So if it doesn't include a quitclaim deed, you need to know that you'll probably need that. Then we need, if we have retirement accounts we're going to divide up, we're going to need what's called a qualified domestic relations order. We call it a quadro for short. And if your flat fee doesn't include that, so you can kind of see where I'm going here.
Yeah, just keep
so right
building.
Now we're in like 1,500. Well, 1,500 up to
1,500.
Yep.
And then if it doesn't include things like mediation, does it include discovery? Does it include copies? Does it include? I mean, sometimes what the law firm will say, well, the $500 is just for attorney's fees. It's not going to include if we have to make copies. It doesn't include the filing fees. It doesn't include if we have to fax something.
Really?
Yeah.
All of that
Seriously?
is probably still a lot less expensive than if people are fighting.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. I tell people all the time when they come in to talk to me, I'm like, look, there may be some issues that you just can't resolve, and that's what you need the litigation for. But the more you can resolve yourself, then the less you have to pay the attorneys. And, I know I'd much rather see people spend the money on their kids or college tuition or something like that.
Now, do you suggest people start off with a flat fee and then just build the pieces that they need from that? Or do you think they should come in and just, hire you as a lawyer to take care of everything?
Right. So in our office, first of all, we offer a free 30-minute consultation because we want people to come in and get educated and we can figure out what the issues are. But during that 30 minutes, we're going to figure out, okay, do we think it's uncontested or do we think it's contested?
Good idea.
And so we'll ask, okay, what are you going to do about custody? What are you going to do about the holidays? What are you going to do about the house? And if it looks like everybody is in agreement or we think we can get an agreement, then we will have the people sign, when I say people, we'll have the client sign a flat fee agreement. But the flat fee agreement is very clear about when it would become contested. Okay. So as long as nobody's fighting and we don't have to go to mediation and we don't have to issue discovery or go to court for a hearing, then that's the number and you're safe. Another point in Iowa is a lawyer can only represent one client.
One side?
Exactly. So what we see happen a lot of times, I know in our office, is let's say you came in to see me and you hired me and your wife said, now we're not married obviously because I don't want to have you be a big mistake. So So I'm going to be your lawyer, and your wife or your significant, your spouse, doesn't want to get a lawyer and says, Kim can just do all the paperwork. I can do all the paperwork and I can draft everything, but I'm going to have your significant other, your spouse, sign an affidavit saying they're not relying on legal advice from me.
So they're waiving their rights.
They're waiving their right to hire an attorney, and that they recognize they had a right to hire an attorney. I'm only going to meet with you. I'm not going to meet with,
Oh, you won't? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that because then I've been in situations before where then that person really is under the impression that I'm giving you both advice. And ethically, we just can't do that.
How often is it that a flat fee is a very, very optimistic hope by a couple early on, and a flat fee becomes not real? All of a sudden they're like, well, no longer do we want this flat fee situation because now there's contested.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. In our office, I would say about 70% of the flat fees stay flat fees.
Wow.
They do?
Yes, and
that's because of your consultation, because you can determine during that 30 minutes.
Right, because as you might imagine, so let me just tell you, so if you came in to see me and you didn't have any kids and you think you've got everything worked out, the fee is going to be $1,850 in our office, and the $1,850 is going to include the court cost, it includes a quadro, it includes a quitclaim deed, and then it includes the paperwork. And as long as it stays uncontested, it's $1,850. If you have children, then it's $2,350. And the reason why it's more expensive is because we have to do child support guidelines, we've got to do visitation plan, and all of that. But yeah, I will tell you that our flat fee agreement is very specific about what's included and what's not included. Mm-hmm. And also we say, okay, if one of you hits the other over the head with a frying pan, and now we got to go down to court, or somebody starts, selling assets, without the other person's permission, and we got to run down to court. Now it's contested. So we put that flat fee retainer in our trust account. We've been billing against it, and so there's probably still some money there. We continue to take from it, but we're going to say, okay, Lou, guess what? We're going to need some more money.
Right, it's already written down. So, okay.
Yeah, it's already written down.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to tell you too is, and we tell clients this all the time, sometimes you file for divorce and you think, okay, I want to be divorced, and then it's a wake-up call to the other person, and they say, wait, whoa, I never thought you were serious. I'll do counseling, So we can always put it on hold. We can file something with the court to put it on hold. We can always dismiss it. Mm-hmm. And so you just want to know that you always have those rights. And if that happens, you're going to get some of that flat fee back because you paid for work that never was done.
There you go. All right. Now, people have a lot of questions about this. How you can see how complicated this can get in very short order. Mm-hmm. How do they get a hold of you, Kim?
Sure. Just give us a call at 279-2000. And as I said, with regard to divorces, we offer a free 30-minute consultation.
Wonderful.
I learned so much.
Isn't that cool?
So early in the morning.
She's good, I'm telling you.
Yep.
Thank you, Kim.
Sure,
Great job as always.
Okay, thanks,
We'll
guys.
be back. It is 7-11. We'll find out what you can catch in Des Moines coming up next.